Hey everyone, it's Jim T. Graham with RCGroups.com, and today we're looking at the Hitec Multi-Charger X4 AC Plus. And I've had a lot of battery chargers in my day, and I've actually had another battery charger that was really old that would charge 4 lithium polymers at one time, but I've never had one that was as robust as the X4. One of the things that I am excited about is that it's AC and DC, and that I can do 4 different types of batteries at the same time. But let's stop there and just kind of talk about what the X4 is. It offers a complete charging solution for novice or expert pilots, and it has multitasking versatility that is great for nitro or electric. So whether you drive cars or fly 3D, or you're a glow guy, a fuel guy, or a pure electric guy, which I'm almost pure electric, this charger will do it all. It's a 4-port computer controlled charger with a 22 amp power supply that can be powered by a standard 120 volt AC household current, as you see here. You also might note that I put this in, I've had this box forever. I've had a lot of chargers in it. So I just drilled a hole and put a little grommet in there, and that's where my power cord comes from. And then all the charging happens on top, and then I have drawers, which I'll show you in a little bit, where I keep my batteries and things like that. Each port of the X4 AC Plus can handle up to a 6-cell lithium pack, 15 NiCad nickel metal cells, or 6 to 12 volt lead acid batteries. And each of the charging ports have individual balancing ports that eliminate the need for a separate balancer when charging your lithium polymer batteries. And I think that's a good time. We'll jump out and look at the ports on this thing. Let's talk about some of the plugs that come with the unit. We have the AC plug, of course, which goes in here. And then we also have the DC plug, which is very swanky. It has a plug which connects right there. And then on the end, you have your gator clips that attach with banana clips. Very nice. Then we also have 2 bare wires. So these are bare, and I took the bare wire to get going and put a Dean's connector on it. Almost everything I run is off of Dean's, and then what I'll do is create adapters to go off the Dean into something else. So almost all the plugs that they sent me, like this plug and this plug, while I do have batteries that work off these plugs, I'm not going to use them. I'm going to go straight to Dean's. So those will get cut and turned into Dean's. This plug, however, is very handy. I have DLG planes, little cell planes, and then other things that I have to charge with this plug. And so this is great. This is just a receiver battery type plug. And then finally, there are gator clips, and I don't have a lead acid. I'm kind of out of that business, so I'll probably cut this and put Dean's on this as well. You're not limited to what they send you. You can buy and create whatever you want. So I have these little JST connectors that will plug straight into this. And you know, these are, I think I bought these at a hobby shop somewhere. So you can buy whatever you need to get this going. And once again, this will do any kind of battery, not any kind of battery, but most of the kinds of batteries that a hobby person like you and I, pilot, heli, car, are going to need. So let's move on. So the Hitec X4 Plus allows you to charge up to 4 different batteries simultaneously, and you can automatically charge all 4 batteries at a time to their maximum capacity. The batteries being charged don't have to have the same configuration or same chemistry, so you can connect any one of the nickel metal, NiCad, LiPo, Life battery into the charging ports. And you know, I've had battery chargers before. This was not an option, and I actually have utilized this where I was charging a car battery, a little NiCad, or I think it was nickel metal, and 2 LiPos at the same time. So in the few weeks I've had this charger, I've already utilized it in that way. Once again, I noted that I carry this in this box, and I'll tell you why. I'll show you a couple of reasons. Now, this review is about the charger, not the box, and this is not new in any way. This is a box that I've had many chargers in, but the charger will live up here. I could probably put another charger in here if I wanted to. And then on the top I have these little units that not only do they open up and reveal all my different wires and charging connectors that I need, but these also pop off, so this is handy for me. So this is where my Hitec X4 will live. And then one more thing is it has drawers. And so this is only for the field. I keep charged batteries here, and when they discharge, I put them in the bottom drawer, and that was the way I know what's what. Now, there's always the fear of battery puffing or having an issue like that. When I charge in metal cans, and there's theories on that too, you know, but I try to be as safe as I can. This is just where this unit lives when I take it to the field. So these are all your cables, and that's what comes with the unit. So let's just go and we'll look at charging a battery. So let's actually charge a battery. If you look at the side here, I've got my balancing tab plugged in. You want to make sure you have that negative corresponding with the negative that is printed on the side of the charger. Also, you have your red and black banana plug input. I know it's simple and I know it seems silly, but you definitely want to verify that's right. If not, the unit will check and make sure everything's plugged in correctly and warn you, but that's not something I personally want to play around with. And now we want to look at our battery. And so we have 11.13 cell, 1300. So that's all the information we need. You have an enter and a stop, then battery type, and then status buttons. So I'm going to go back. We're going to start by battery type, and you're going to push this to select the kind of battery that you want. Oops, let's go through it one more time. And lithium polymer is what we want. I'm going to press enter, and I'm going to go to LiPo charge. And so now I'm going to hit enter. When I hit enter, I get to pick the amps. We're at 13. So we're going to decrease to 1.3. We're good. And hit enter. Then we're going to go to voltage, and we are 11.1. 3 cell, enter. So now you're set up. This battery's ready to charge, and you're going to hit start and hold it down. Oh no, I've got a connection break. Well, A, good on the charger, and B, I'll figure out what the connection break is and be right back. In my zeal to create a review video, I neglected to plug this in. That is a full-on connection break right there. So we'll plug this in. So I've backed out by pressing battery type, and it brings me back up to my original window, verifying we're at 1.3 and 3 cells. I'm going to hold down this button. Now it's checking the battery again. It likes it. All I have to do is hit enter to confirm, and now it's charging the battery. So now let's look at what the X4 is actually saying to us here. This is telling us the number of cells, 3S. This is time elapsed on the charge. This is the charge or discharge rate right here. This is the battery voltage on the top, and then we have supply and capacity on the bottom right. So that's a lot of good information. Now, if you have your battery on a balancer, you can press this button, and then you can see the voltage of each cell, which is pretty neat. So that, for the majority of everyone watching this video, is how to use the lithium polymer charger. The other versions I'll go over briefly, but they're pretty simple. Let's talk about charging modes. We start out with the fast charge mode, which would be a great in the field mode. It reduces charging time but does not balance your cells, and this mode only charges the battery to approximately 90% of capacity. Balanced charge mode monitors individual cell voltage and keeps the cells within an acceptable voltage range and charges the pack to peak capacity. And then storage charge mode, which is awesome because I've never had this before, is used for long-term battery storage, and it adjusts the voltage level so the battery will not be damaged during long-term storage. And I believe for LiPo that's 3.85. Some other features of the charger are Delta Peak technology for maximum safety. When the battery voltage exceeds its threshold, the charge process is terminated automatically. And then there's an automatic charging current limit, and the maximum charge rate can be manually set when charging NiCad or nickel metal batteries. The X4 will auto-detect when the batteries are fully charged and shut off, even with a low impedance nickel metal pack. And then there's temperature threshold. The battery's internal chemical reaction causes the temperature of the battery to rise during the charging process. If the temperature exceeds a limit, the charging process will automatically terminate. That's only available though if you have the optional temperature probe. It's not included with this charger, but you can order it from Hitec. There's 5 user customizable presets per channel, and 5 presets are there so that you can store the charge and discharge parameters for any particular battery type. So like I tend to use a lot of 3-cell 4,000 packs and a lot of 3-cell 2200s. So if I wanted to, I could create presets just for those so I didn't have to go through that every time. And then there's cycle charging and discharging. Batteries can be set automatically to charge, discharge, or discharge, charge up to a maximum of 5 cycles. And this is just kind of refresh your battery and get it going at its peak performance. So now I've got the charger running 2 nickel metal batteries, 1 super big pack that I run on one of my rock crawlers, a little tiny nickel metal that I run in a DLG plane, and then I'm balancing a 2.2 LiPo on the other side. So in conclusion, I just want to say why I like this charger so much and why it fits my needs. Everything's in one unit. I can close the lid here and go out, and if I'm in the field, I can charge off my truck. I can hook up to my truck battery and utilize that. If I'm at like at the beach, I had a little garage area where I kept all my stuff. I can plug directly into the wall outlet. That alone for me is a huge benefit for this unit. Now when you get a charger that charges 4 batteries at one time, you will become spoiled and never ever want another charger unless it charges more than 4 at one time. And so that's the other plus. Not only does it charge 4 batteries at one time, which is more than enough usually to get me rolling into my next whatever it is I'm doing, you can also charge different kinds of batteries like I'm showing you right here. And then finally, the programming, very simple, not complicated. You could probably make it complicated if you want. I've only scratched the surface of all the things you can do with the X4. What I wanted to do was just kind of give an intro on if you received it and wanted to go fly an airplane in the next hour, what would you do? And this is what you would do. And then finally, it's small, and while like if you were flying super big planes, 6, 8S cells, things like that, this might be a little underpowered for you. For a guy like me, I'm kind of, a lot of the stuff I run is a 3-cell 2200 or maybe a 3-cell 4000, and that works for me. Plus, and finally, maybe the biggest point, it's a Hitec, so you know they'll take care of you if you have trouble. You know you can get on the phone with Mike Mayberry and he'll hook you up or answer your questions or whatever it is you need. You know Hitec's going to be there for you. And that was the biggest part of me thinking, okay, this is the 4 battery charger unit that I wanted for myself. So this has been the Hitec Multi-Charger X4 AC Plus, and I am a big fan. I'm Jim T. Graham with RCGroups.com. I appreciate you watching. Subscribe to us so you can catch all the videos we do. We have a team of guys putting out videos like this on great RC products. And thanks.